It's so weird, like being on the computer because, with the Zoom thing, because before this whole pandemic started, I wasn't into it. Like I never thought I would ever use this,
Mm,
but now I'm kind of like forced to do it because of school.
yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of like it. I'm starting to get used to it now.
Now that we began talking about it, but do you just want to just introduce yourself? Tell me something about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Jenna Schultz, and I'm I'm a student, and I'm a server, and I'm trying to like go to school to change my career. So, um, you know, basically, I don't know. That's about it. That's who I am, and I'm just trying to better myself and grow and learn, and I love school. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Excellent. So, could you explain how the coronavirus has affected you?
Oh boy, this is like a, a big question. um, it's really affected me in like great, amazing ways. Like I know this sounds so like it doesn't sound very good because when I think about all of the people that are being affected by this in a bad way, and all the people whose family who died, whose families are suffering right now, that isn't good. That's never good. And you know that really, it upsets me that so much um um so many people are being unkind in this time right now to each other, and it's just really sad. But so, and I've lost a couple friends, and we'll go into that later, but I've lost a couple friends over it, and um that's sad. But as a general like whole in my life, it's really it's making my life much less stressful, believe it or not. So basically, it's interesting. It's made me like think about my future and what I'm going to do, like instead of serving, because I feel like it's going to change the serving industry for many people. I don't think we're going to make as much money as we used to. Rules are going to change. So like there's going to be less guests in the restaurant. They're going to have to be spread out far apart.
What are your plans to navigate around these uncertain times?
So basically, like, I'm really hoping that this stays this way for as long as possible, because it's really helping me navigate through my schooling and everything. The fact that we're taking these classes online is kind of scary and everything, but it's actually creating more time for me. So it's kind of perfect. Luckily, I'm the type of person where, like, if there's a bump in the road, I find a way to make it anyway. I find a solution for everything. That's what I do. I love to do that. So the instant this thing went down, I was like, okay, I'm going to start making masks. Let's do this. And I mean, it was crazy. Like, I mean, it just blew up. I think I made $1,000 in like 3 days.
Did you ever think that you'd be out of a job due to a pandemic?
Never, never. Did you?
Nope.
um,
Like, you think the Trump administration has done enough to help people?
okay, so because of that, I think they have. Now, that's that answer could change in about another month or so. So come back to me on that one then. But for now, yes, I think they've done enough. In fact, I think they've done more than enough. I'm surprised they did this much, to be honest with you.
Mm.
And I think they're doing a good job at doing that. But the timing, I think, was all wrong. That's the only problem. I think they just waited a little bit too long, But in their defense, if I was the leader, I mean, this kind of stuff doesn't happen every day. These people aren't used to this kind of situation arising. So can you imagine having to be the president of the United States and having to close the country down?
The one thing I do think about is that I was seeing and reading that the Obama administration, when the transition happened with Obama and Trump, was that the Obama administration had plans to tackle future pandemics and outbreaks in the United States, and apparently the Trump administration just shelved those plans away, thinking that it wasn't going to happen. And I find it really interesting that then candidate Hillary Clinton, she had talked about combating pandemics and outbreaks of viruses, because during the 2016 election, they had the Zika virus going on, and Hillary kind of like went into detail about how her administration would tackle pandemics and outbreaks. So I just find that to be very interesting.
That is very interesting. I mean, what an unusual, timely response to that. That's like really kind of creepy, you know?
I remember that during the Obama years, Obama began his presidency with the H1N1 outbreak, and then we would have little outbreaks around the world. We would have Ebola in West Africa, and then
Yeah.
the Zika virus going on in the South Americas.
I mean, I think that Governor Newsom, right? Is that who you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a good job. I like him better than our president for sure. You know, he's definitely more tactful, and because of his character, I think he's doing a better job than probably most people.
I did want to bring up though that obviously Congress passed the stimulus package, and from that stimulus package we got those $1,200 checks and all that. So Congress did do that, and I know that just a couple of days ago that the Democrats in the House wanted to pass like a $2 trillion another stimulus package, but then which did get voted on and it passed in the House, which is now going to the Senate. But unfortunately, it looks like the Republicans in the Senate, since they have control, I don't know if they're going to be open for debate or they're just going to kill it upon arrival.
Do you remember this happening with the $1,200 stimulus, though? Do you remember originally they said we have to relax at us, right? Mm-hmm. So you just never know, like, what will happen. I've been hearing about this new second wave of this happening for a while now. I've been hearing it for quite a while. So I don't know. I like seeing is believing. You know,
Did you want to talk about like what have you seen like in your local city of Long Beach do to help citizens during these uncertain times of the pandemic?
I guess when I think about like when I compare Long Beach to other cities that are near me, I feel like Long Beach is more like chill and community based. So we're like more like we're kind of I just noticed that people are trying to help bring others. People are being kind here. People are being they're following the rules, they're following the guidelines, they're not being rambunctious or trying to say keep our city alive or anything. They're just being obedient, and also like I noticed people like driving by honking their horns, like if there's somebody's birthday happening or something and they're trying to like make you feel like you're more of a community, then they're like doing like little things in their lawns and stuff. I noticed like neighbors like playing together and kids playing outside. And
that's good. And are you seeing people like wearing masks and obeying the social distancing?
Absolutely. I've been hearing like people are like complaining that nobody's wearing masks, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, really? I'm like, I see everybody wearing masks here. Like, I mean, of course there's going to be some people without them, but for the most part, people are wearing masks.
What are your thoughts about citizens protesting the stay-at-home orders? Do you agree or disagree with the protesters?
Oh, this is a good one. So, this just happened to me, like personally, I've had some personal problems with this one. So like, I think that, protecting, putting a mask on, right, is like really important, not for us, but for others. I personally think that trying to protect others from harm is a really good quality to have. And a lot of people unfortunately, don't have that quality, in my opinion. And so those are the people that are just thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about others. I want to help. I want to help people. That's why I'm here on this planet. I want to help others. That's why I'm a server. If I see somebody in distress, I want to help them. If I see somebody who's afraid, I want to console them. I want to take care of people.
You want to be part of the solution, not the problem.
Exactly. Yeah. Always, always.
What do you think about the rhetoric that some of the leaders and some of the protesters are saying about we have to sacrifice the weak in order to protect the majority? Because I don't know if it was like the governor or lieutenant governor of Texas, one of them said that we need to the unfortunate part about the coronavirus is that we have to sacrifice the weak in order to protect this country's economic interests.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. I didn't know about that. So yeah, like you can't like compare money with human life. I mean, that's just like totally wrong.
Like it just pisses me off so much. Like if someone said that to my grandma, like if a protester literally said that, I the first thing I think about is my grandma, like my grandpa, like the elderly. It's like really like you
like
rather
it's more
like
important for them to be able to get their nails done than if this person's life is taken away from them. Is that what's going on?
and you know what? It'll be interesting that these people who protested in Huntington Beach and all over the country, the ones that were wearing masks, there's a good chance they probably already got it. And 2 weeks from now, they're gonna start. They're probably spreading the virus as we speak. It'll be until it happens to them where they lose a family member. They'll be singing a different tune for sure.
Hopefully, let's put it that way. I don't know. I don't even know. You never know.
What do you hope to see in the future in regards to combating the coronavirus?
Combating it, yeah. So I guess like without knowing more information, because I'm not like I I don't really. I think that like maybe people being more sanitary, because like a lot of times at work, like I know people go to the bathroom and they don't wash their hands and stuff.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing that I could see that could help, it would probably be people just washing their hands.
So when the day comes where they have the vaccine for the coronavirus, you won't get it.
Absolutely not. Mm-mm. I absolutely would not get it. Because I don't trust. I don't believe that would help me. I don't. I don't. I think that if I inject that into my body, that's poison. That's my belief.
Is there anything that would change your mind uh, if you were to get the vaccine? What do you want to see that will earn your trust in getting the vaccine? What do you want to see?
Uh,
Or are you just for sure just don't want to get the vaccine at all?
like the vaccine might like I don't think that like I think that like if somebody might want to take the vaccine, it might work for them. Like I'm not saying that I don't know, how do I say this? It's like um do I think the vaccine would help? Like I don't know. Like I'm not sure.
What do you think about the criticism of the Chinese government on its handling of the coronavirus?
And that was the question I had for you, like in specifically what criticism? Because I didn't know, I wasn't informed about that. I wasn't reading about that.
The criticism of the Chinese government of its handling is that they weren't being honest about the way that the coronavirus was was able to transmit human to human. I believe that they were saying that that the virus could not transmit human to human, but apparently China knew that, but they didn't disclose the facts with the World Health Organization
So
and
they're saying it was only animal to human?
yeah, they were saying that it didn't spread human to human. That was the story that they were going off, but then that later turned out not to be entirely accurate. That the virus was able to transmit human to human.
So you think they were hiding that? They were lying about that? Do you
I,
think they weren't being truthful?
I mean, that's what I'm hearing, and that's what a lot of countries are hoping that they get to the bottom of it eventually. That they investigate as to why China was not. I mean, obviously we know that the coronavirus came from an animal, obviously, and from the animal it went into the human, but China wasn't being honest about that. The virus could that once the human got it, that it wasn't able to be transmittable to another human.
I see.
And then there's stories about China's. I don't know how accurate they are, or it's debunked, or it's just conspiracy theories. But there are unconfirmed reports that in Wuhan, the epicenter of where COVID-19 broke out, is that there is a biological lab, and apparently it escaped from the lab and then found its way into the general public, and that's how it broke out. But that is unconfirmed. Could be
How
conspiracy.
did it escape? Did somebody let it out?
That's what they're saying that.
So some people say that like somebody purposefully let it free
Either
to.
either purposely or accidental. Do you know anyone personally affected or even diagnosed by the coronavirus?
No, I mean, like I know friends who know people, but I don't know people personally. Um, and I know very few friends. Like, let's see. I know a couple people that thought they had it and got tested and they didn't have it. And then I know one girl that I know, she knows several people that have died from it, which I thought was interesting.
Really?
So yeah. And so I was like, really? Wow. But she's also from New York, so I don't know if that's why.
Has the coronavirus pandemic influenced you in any way on how you will be voting in November for President of the United States?
uh, it's funny because like I've been wanting Trump out of office for ages now, and so like now it doesn't like I still want Trump out of office like even more so now than ever. But I wonder if somebody who really liked Trump at the beginning now changed their mind. That's what I'm curious about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, let me since you do bring that up, let me just bring the fact in is that the elder, the older folks, they're the ones that go out to vote. Uh,
yeah.
they're very uh, they're a reliable voting bloc, and
Mhm.
we're seeing in states where these states put Donald Trump over 270 electoral votes. Once you get over 270, you're elected president. That that these numbers might come back to haunt him. That all these elderly folks that passed away that probably voted for him aren't alive no more, and it could cause some damage for Trump if he plans on getting reelected in these battleground states.
Yeah.
We'll see on November 3rd what happens on election night. Do you think the stay-at-home orders are helpful or hurtful to Americans?
I think they're helpful. Absolutely helpful. I think that people are scared of change, period. So, um, you know, uh, because of that, they're going to be like freaking out, stressed out, maybe retaliating. But like, as you can see, generally people are pretty calm and accepting of what's happening. So based on what I've seen, I think that definitely it's helping. But It's definitely not helping the economy.
All right. So, have you prepared in any way in the event that the coronavirus decides to stick around, like the seasonal flu?
Um, no, because I'm not like I told you before. It's like I don't really have a fear of germs or anything like that. I probably should prepare, but I haven't. And it's hard to prepare also whenever like nothing's available.
All right, Jenna. Well, those are all the questions. We're done.
Woo!
And I don't know. I think we had a really good conversation.
I think so too.
I hope my questions were probing.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, like you have the greatest questions of anybody I ever met.
Thank you, Jenna. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, my pleasure.
Hopefully, I'm going to the right profession then as a journalist.
Absolutely, you were meant for it. I swear. If there was anything, you were definitely that. Yeah, it's crazy. You were like totally meant for that.
All right, well, Jenna, I appreciate your time, and as I said, I think we had a really good conversation.
Absolutely, I agree. Thank you for picking me. It was fun.
Thank you, Jenna. Appreciate it.
Okay, have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Take
Okay,
care.
take care. But
Definitely.
I so what was the question again?